I'm Anita. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another wire wrapped tutorial on rings. Today I'm going to be making a triple stone wire wrapped ring. There was a couple of other videos I've done so far with single stones, and I'll include links to those below in the description box if you'd like to watch those. You're going to need a ruler, and for today's project you're going to be using 20 gauge wire. This is a silver-plated brass, I believe. I've got 3 gemstones. This is a malachite, 6mm, and then 2 4mm. You can use any size you want. If you want to go smaller, you could do a 4mm and 3mm. So the other thing you're going to need for tools is a wire cutter, a couple of pair of chain nose or flat nose pliers, and a ring mandrel for shaping your ring and also for measuring. So let me clear my area and let's get started. For today's project, I am going to be cutting about 11 inches of wire. So you'll measure that out on your ruler. Cut that length there. And I'm going to want to center my stones on that. So we're going to start by putting our 3 stones on. And I want to find the center of this, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. About right there. Looks pretty close. Now I'm going to put this on my ring mandrel, and I'm going to shoot for making a size 8.5 on this today. Let's see how close we can get to that. So you're just going to put your wire around your mandrel as close to the size that you're aiming for, and it does take practice for this. And then you're going to bring your wire around the mandrel, behind and over, like that. So you're going to twist that, bring that over, and then the other side is going to come underneath. So one half of the wire is going to be above and the other half is going to be below. So you're just going to kind of squeeze that together. So that's what that looks like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep these together. It's a bit of a challenge here. So we're going to bring this wire on my right up above to the right side of that center stone. Now I'm going to bring the one on my left down and around like that, around the center stone. So now we're going to try to squeeze our 2 shank wires together. Got to get these close together. Get the shape started. Now I'm going to pull this off my ring mandrel. You have to just kind of hold this together. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this wire down and underneath through my ring to get this bead back up here. So just pull this through. If your bead gets away from you, you can just pull it back up after you get your wire through. So we're going to bring this around like this. Pull that close together. And now we're going to make sure our shank is straight. I'm going to wrap this around. And then bend this to bring it back through your ring again. Pull that through. Get that as close as you can. Now we're going to squeeze. Try to get that flattened out. Now bring your wire back over the top. Straighten your shank. Squeeze this a little. Like that. To bring this back through. Pull that through. Squeeze. Bring that back around. Keep your shank straight. Squeeze. Pull that back through. And around. And one more time. Pull that through. Squeeze. And over. And we're going to clip this about right here. Let's try to keep our shank straight. So I'm going to cut this on the outside at an angle, about right here. Now I want to bring that sharp edge down so that it's not sticking up. So when you're clipping your wire, you want to aim for clipping on the outside of the ring. And just kind of squeeze that down, make sure there's no rough spots. Now we're going to flip this around and do the other side. So we're going to push this together. If there's any gaps like that, I'm going to pull that over. And I want to bend this so that I can get it through my ring. And if your bead gets away from you, just push it back up. So now I'm going to bring this over and try to get this under the far right side bead to get everything grouped together. So now we're going to wrap this over the shank, bend your wire to get it through your ring, and pull. You want to flatten this a little. Bring your shanks together, squeeze, pull this over, squeeze, and then bend your wire again to get it through the ring. Pull that through. Just get this together, push that up a little if it gets away, squeeze that down, pull your wire, bring that back over, squeeze, bring this back through, pull, and squeeze. So I'm going to do one more wrap. Bring this down. Straighten your shank. Squeeze that. And we're going to bring this over and clip. Make sure your shank's straight. And if you have too much of a gap, you can squeeze these together. So I'm going to clip this here at an angle. Squeeze my sharp edge down. Make sure there's no sharp edges. Could bring this down down together a little further. There we go. Bring this over. So now I'm going to get the final shaping and put this on my mandrel to get the shank rounded and straightened out. So put that on your mandrel, get your rubber mallet, and then just lightly pound. See if we can get that shank straightened out. We'll go this way. And if your shank gets twisted around, just straighten it out the best you can. So I think I'm going to use my flat nose here and bring this up. And turn this so that it's the same direction. All right, now let's see if we can get that rounded. Just pound that down. Light taps. Get your shank together. Now we're going to tap the back. Bring this down. Now we're going to take this off the mandrel and flip it to the other side to get it even. It's best if you can have a mandrel that's got a completely round edge on it. If you don't, you can do it this way. It's just going to take a little bit more work to get it straight. Let's turn this around. And it's going to take some practice and a few trial errors to get the sizing down, because it's not always 100% perfect. But you'll get better at it the more you practice this. Let's take a look at that. Again, some final taps. And I've got a little bit of an issue with my shank here, so I'm just going to straighten this out with my pliers. And try my nylon pliers and see if I can get that rounded. And that's about as close as I'm going to get with this particular one. Now it's a challenge with this mandrel. I have another mandrel on order that's wood, and it's all rounded on the edges, but here's the final product of the triple stone ring, wire wrapped. Now, like I said, this was a 6mm and a 4mm on each side, and you can do this different ways. If you don't want to do the single wrap here, you can certainly do 2 or 3 wraps on each side of this stone and then do your finish wraps on the edge. So if you're going to do that, you're probably going to need at least 12 inches of wire. So just keep that in mind. The more wraps that you have, the more wire that you're going to need. So here's today's finished ring, triple stone, wire wrapped, really pretty. And I'm going to list links to all the suppliers in the description box where you can get the different materials you need for today's project. I also have a website where I sell my own jewelry. I'll have a link to that in the description box below. If you click more below this video, it'll give you all the details. I've made quite a few of these, so you can check it out and see all the other ones that I've done. Also include links to the 2 other videos that I've done on wire wrap rings. I'm also going to be doing a herringbone wrap, which is a little bit more complicated. I'll be doing that in the near future, so stay tuned. Also, if you're not a subscriber, I hope that you do subscribe. Share the link with your family and friends. Feel free to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of this video today. I'd love to hear from you. So with that said, I hope that you have a wonderful week, and happy beading, everyone. See you next time.